Oh, hugging it out. Think we need a little space, and get ready. It is hammer time.
Hammer time.
Today we are breaking down and reacting to all of these spine-tingling medical scenes and savage injuries from Halo. Let's dive right in. Electrical type energy in the emergency department or like in real life, like what the heck do you do? There are people who work on job sites where there's open electrical outlets, maybe the energy's on, touching an outlet that still had power to it and feel a little bit of vibration. But if there is a lot of energy to it, it also depends if it's AC versus a DC. Alternating current will give you that flexion where you can't actually let go. The DC, it will give you that big explosion. When we do have an electrical injury, we worry about muscle breakdown, rhabdomyolysis, kidney failure, nerves burning, tissue burning, obviously cardiac arrhythmias, getting into an abnormal rhythm. Oi, stab into the lower aspect of potentially the left hip or the left lower quadrant of the abdomen. You have your large intestines that are there. You potentially have your ureter coming down and other just soft tissue that's there. So the biggest thing you worry about is bleeding, so major blood vessels. And then if you hit into the bowel, do you now have bowel poop contents into the abdomen itself, which will increase the risk of infection over the next few days. Oh, I hear like a crunch and a lot of movement. Is it a clavicle fracture, is it a shoulder dislocation, or is it a shoulder fracture?
Take care of those elites. He's mine.
Oh, put your helmet on or something. He's got his helmet off. Come on.
Come on.
Super cool. Tackle, you gotta be careful of your own shoulder dislocation when somebody's falling like that. You can fall, have a whiplash injury, hit the back of your head, and then people will fall down and hit the ground when they eventually fall. And we see a lot of hematomas, contusions, abrasions, and lacerations to the posterior aspect of the skull. Oh, massive amount of blunt trauma to the abdominal wall. What could happen actually? Your abdominal wall has multiple different layers of muscle, and then everything underneath the muscle is overlaid by your omentum, which is a fat covering over your organs. You can cause bruising to these areas. Could you pop an organ? Unlikely that that would happen with that type of force. Typically it's more bruising and ecchymosis that can cause injuries. You can see blood in the abdominal wall itself. Oh, geez.
My face will be the last thing your pathetic eyes ever see.
Squeezing, grabbing somebody, lifting somebody up by that. Lifting the person off of the ground by their head. Not a common technique that we use in medicine. And clasping all the way around. So decreasing blood flow by compressing down on the jugular vein and the carotid arteries. And then decrease blood flow in and out. You're gonna pass out soon. Strain on the cervical spine because you're lifting somebody by their head. Oh, knife to side of the head, maybe near the ear, maybe near the temple. It's still going into the same place, into the brain. People have asked the softest part of the skull, potentially it's the temporal bone. Is it thinner there? Yes, the bone is still hard, but it could be thinner there, sure. What? Right into the abdomen. What could injure somebody and make them die fast is hitting the aorta or hitting the inferior vena cava. You have two big major blood vessels. A blade that big going through can cause injury. You're gonna hit hollow organs, you're gonna hit solid organs, you're gonna cause bleeding.
Tell him to make it count.
Oh, just being thrown out into space. Getting thrown out into space does have a space type suit on unless the mask is off. You get thrown into space, lack of oxygen up there, and then also the cold temperatures that are both not survivable if you're not protected. Wow, just a blast injury. Almost sounds like a shotgun right to the abdomen. You can see dusting pink blood coming from the abdomen.
Pink mist.
Again, abdominal wounds, they're going to take a long time for you to succumb to unless the major blood vessels are hit. Like if you blow off one kidney, the other one will function for a while unless there's bleeding that can't be stopped. So it's a lot of issues relating to bleeding. And then a few days later, if you're still alive and you're not being taken care of appropriately, then infection will definitely sit in. The strength to throw that axe. I mean, maybe the suit, it gives you extra power, probably does, as well as just being strong and fit anyway. It slices pretty deep through, so that could cause major injury, especially if it hits the lung or the heart. Gunshot wound to the head, almost looks like the neck. You can get a through and through the neck and then actually not hit major vessels and just go straight through. I've seen that before. Versus going to the medial aspect of the major blood vessels, but not hit the trachea and still go straight through and miss the spinal cord on the back. All these scenarios actually do happen by accident. If you were to have a major injury to that area, you can compress the vessels down on one side, especially if they're bleeding out. Just don't do both sides because you'll decrease blood flow on both ends.
The voice of the Covenant!
Whoa, that's a long neck.
You must be silenced.
Multiple different areas can be hit with that. You got the heart right in the middle, esophagus running through here, the branches of your lungs, the trachea comes down, the main stem bronchi, and then they kind of branch off. So airway issues, even if you hit midline. And then it even goes lower into the abdomen. And if you hit the aorta, you're screwed basically at that point, especially as the blades come back out. Oh, hammer smash.
Pick up the hammer!
If that were to hit like a body part, definitely gonna break a lot of bones. A lot of times when we see mangled bones in the emergency department, it's usually due to bad car accidents or falls from really great heights. Simple fractures, what we see is usually like stepping off a curb, snowboarding or skiing, those sorts of things. But things where bones are in multiple pieces, typically it's a car accident. Whoa. Oh, check out the neck.
Look at that neck!
You could see almost like tracheal rings. Our trachea, you know, the upper part of our airway, is all these cartilaginous rings, and they actually go all the way down. And you can't see it on us because we have tissue overlying it, but here you're seeing it. Maybe there's not enough subcutaneous tissue under there, but you can see each ring. When we intubate people sometimes, it could be almost like a blind procedure, and there's something called the bougie, which is a small plastic straw-looking thing that's solid. You can actually put that down somebody's airway, meaning through the vocal cords. Anteriorly, you can feel it go almost like going across railroad tracks.
The great journey waits for no one, brother. Not even you.
Airway and the esophagus are sitting right next to each other, and sometimes you can intubate into the esophagus and then you put air into the stomach and you're not getting air into their lungs. And this occurred more often when we used to do direct laryngoscopy, where we actually manually got the tissue out of the way with just a laryngoscope. There was a light on it and then we could see down there, we're kind of looking in, versus now we have video laryngoscopes, which is much safer for an individual, so we can actually see everything with a camera. So you can actually see the vocal cords, you can see the esophagus, and you can get the tube where it needs to get to. Halo is so cool, very good graphics. I like that there are injuries, but not like a lot of gore and not like a lot of blood that we see. We don't need to. Our imagination can do that for us. Also, I made fast acting health supplements with you in mind. No matter what the issue, I got you covered. Check out Life Happens. You take them only when you need them. Do you guys want me to react to the Halo TV show? Let me know in the comments. If you guys enjoyed this, definitely check out this playlist right here. And as always, do me a favor, hit that like button, turn your notifications on, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and stay healthy, my friends.